wake up? Wake up, Creator. This is the beginning of your story. It starts with nothing. Nothing but an infinite void. However, you, with a single touch, can awaken the light.
What? Alright then.
And so the
damn.
universe sprang into being.
Didn't know I could do that.
Worlds filled with endless potential were scattered into the beyond.
What?
They formed into many different shapes and sizes. And while most were doomed to drift among the cosmos barren and alone, others flourished.
Good to know.
These few planets soon became home to the greatest phenomenon of all.
Okay, what is...
Life.
Ah, okay. Life.
However, life is a peculiar thing. It comes and goes as swiftly as a bit of space debris burning up in an atmosphere.
Indeed.
A creator's purpose was always that of an observer, to simply admire the fleeting beauty of life's beginnings and ends.
Why am I called a
This
creator?
balance could never last. The issue with allowing a species to evolve independently is that they always fail to do so. For life to have a better chance of succeeding, it needs a helping hand. Ah, here we are. Welcome to Mother Planet. This is a rare sight, for it came to be that there was day and night,
Alright then.
warmth and cold, and water to flow through the planet's veins. The soil was rich with minerals, which gave rise to a thick blanket of green. The perfect ecosystem was formed. It is
Alright.
no wonder, then, why life has chosen to inhabit it.
Life
A
is
new
sentient?
species has been born, and they need guidance. This is your purpose now. Their very existence rests in your hands.
Well, they're fucked. Well, Squaddies, welcome back to the channel. As always, I am D. Decided to go with this for the new series to take over. Because, I mean, you think about it, Dominions is a god game. It's an empire building god game, but it's still a god game. So I decided to, let's go a different direction. Let's just go straight for nothing but a god game. That is, and ultimately that's what this is. This is Universe Sim. Now, as you can tell, it's telling me I have to place down my epicenter, which is kind of like, it's basically the monolith from 2001. I'm looking for a good spot. I need access to 4 things: wood, stone. No, I don't need access to my cat, but I'm glad to have it. Water, and also some food supply, which in this case means bushes with berries. This looks like a good spot, but I also kind of want something a little bit defensible, because there are wolves in the winter eventually. Stop, kitty. You don't need to be attached to my face like that. You know what, let's go ahead and place the evolution tower right there.
Take a look at your new subjects. They're called nuggets, largely because of their body's apparent inability to keep them.
I'm gonna go ahead and pause the game there to start. Getting some stuff. Actually, no. There we go. Actually, no. Yeah. There. That's the order I want.
One piece. Adahi and Aether, the architects of their species. They are the founders of everything that Nuggets will ever know or achieve.
Alright, so we just researched basic tools. You open... Yes, this is, like I said, this is a god game where you don't have direct control over your people, which in this case we only have two so far. We have Adahi
Nuggets are all unique to one another.
and
There are some things
Elu.
that are shared between Nuggets.
Our Nuggets.
These include the need for certain essentials like food.
I need to turn the sound up a little. Hold on. That's better. Now what they're doing is they're going to build a house.
Roof over their heads, and an occasional nap. They want to learn, build, discover, create. It would all be quite inspirational if they also didn't happen to be the species that initially thought their shadows were trying to eat them. This is quite a beautiful planet. Try not to ruin it, will you?
Make no promises about not ruining a planet. So we're going to go for cooking later. We'll get shamanism first. Now, the point of this is just ultimately is to build up from the Stone Age to the Space Age. Now this is, as you can see up here on the top, this is an alpha. This is still a work in progress. So I'm actually going to be working on it. And right now it's going from, it goes from Stone Age to, I think, Modern Age, I think. Get calendar next. Oh wait, actually. And then straight to hunting. The reason I'm doing this, I'm rushing through these texts to get to this, to Watchtowers, because it's going to be very important later on. Because there are seasons in this game, just like there's a day-night cycle on this planet. And if you don't have Watchtowers, when the wolves show up in the winter, yeah, they tend to kind of eat you. Alright, let's go ahead and get a well. Unfortunately, I think I can only get a 15 well here. Oh, no, I can get a 16 if I put it over here for some reason. But that's a little far away from our people, so let's go ahead and put the well right there. Oh. This is one thing you can do. You do have some powers, so it's a little bit more like black and white than Dominions. So, Elu is asking me to get these two into a... basically make them into a couple.
What are you, some sort of fairy godmother?
Which makes them believe in me more. You have a certain number of god powers based mostly on how many believers you have. This is your number of believers here. I've only got 2 right now because there's only 2 people in my entire tribe. This is how many creator points you have, which is how much power you have to spend. This is your list of powers. I've currently got access to telekinesis for 5, the Cupidon, which I just used for 20, Kickstart I don't have yet. I also have Rejuvenate for 10, which is just a healing spell.
I hope you've been working on your beach body. You're not going to spend another summer just lazing around, are you?
There's a turtle over there. I am working on getting up to... once I get fishing, I will get a... I will put in for water storage. You are the neediest of kitties, I swear. My plan for this series, by the way, is to kind of do what I do for Soul Reaver, where it's just one long playthrough that I just cut into parts. And we now have a water pit. Now, eventually, Adahi here will go into his hut, where Elu is, and they will, well, have sex, because that's actually exactly what they're doing.
I wasn't aware that mating was a spectator sport.
Yeah, the narrator is a little bit of a snarky guy. Luckily, we do have plenty of food in the form of berries, but...
Oh,
There we go. We now have
Look at that.
brand new
A
nuggets.
little baby nugget. Aren't they adorable?
Now, what they want me to do here is they want me to name their kids. You can actually name them basically anything you want.
Plus, they soon be old enough to have an opinion
No, we're not going to name a girl
on
Bob.
questionable life decisions. Let's see how much you like them that.
I call her Millennia. And Bob. Luckily, that also gets the reason I do this is it tends to get you followers, which generates more creator points faster. Now, one thing I need to do is build this. This is the archive. The reason I need to build this, well, for one reason, this gives somebody a job. This will give somebody a job. But more importantly, if I have that, I can save the game. Now, one thing you can actually do to help your nuggets is I have telekinesis. Go over here,
You're looking
rip this tree out,
creator.
and just put it right in there. So you can actually provide them with resources. This has a lot of black and white vibes to it. But ultimately, this kind of feels like what black and white wanted to be. Don't get me wrong, I loved the first black and white. And the second one, not so much, but... If you want to stop and think about, if you want to think about it this way, though, this is kind of like black and white, or kind of like the tribal / civilization stage of Spore. Although comparing it to Spore isn't fair because this doesn't have a lot of walking dicks. Say what you will about Spore with the creativity, but a lot of it ended up being ambulatory penises. Mostly because it's the internet. Now, there's gonna be a lot of times where I'm just gonna sit here watching. Like I said, I'm gonna basically be cutting out chunks of this. I'm gonna edit it down to be something that might be better to watch. Kitty, you can stay in my lap, but don't go and just randomly nuzzle stuff. One of my cats is being very needy for attention right now, but that's okay. Now, one of the neat things about the archive here, like I said, you need this to save, but you can only do that if you actually staff it with somebody. Now, I'm not going to build a fishing hut right away because I need something else first. Oh, wow, I can't actually... Okay, you know what? We're going to just take shamanism off. That's better. Finding seaweed, wood filings, and a leftover sandwich led Adahi to discover gutting for their fishing research. The game's sense of humor is very good, at the end of the day, in my book. Now, it is missing some tooltips because, again, this is an alpha, so... I just finished researching fishing. Eventually, the two Nugget children, Millennia and Bob, will come of age and they will become part of the community. All right, Adahi, you are now. Actually, we'll wait and see what they name this place, because the Nuggets will eventually name your city. For example, in one of my games, oddly enough, they decided to call it Stalingrad. But once we know the name of the town, that's what I'll name the file. Oh, they are now adults. And this is where the game gets a little creepy. Because, yeah. Have to kind of make them fall in love. We're just going to gloss over the massive amount of incest in this game. Because there's a lot of it.
So, you've uprooted a tree. Now what?
It scared I guess she's my non-believer. You know what?
Oh, we're doing this again, are we?
There we go, that is all the supplies needed for the stone hut. And soon they will have a house of their own. Now, like I said, I could actually build a fishing pier, but the problem is I need water for that. You see what it requires. It takes 20 wood, 10 stone to build, and then to operate it requires no power, but it requires 2 water. And to do that, I need to get a water wheel, which is what's coming up next. I will eventually need to get burial. The tech tree is actually quite nice in this game. Like I said, we're just gonna quietly ignore the fact that this all started with 2 people, and I'm going to end up with a popular.
If I didn't know any better, I'd say you were trying to catch up, Pete.
I'm watching the archive, you twat. And we now have our first child from... Yeah, we're not going to talk about it. Female child. Is there anything I can build that I could use? Nope. One thing, the reason I'm researching toolkits is because your buildings do also have durability. You can see right there. They have a health. That does go down over time, and it will fall apart. Buildings will fall apart, with the exception of the evolution tower and the temple that your people will eventually build for you. Oh, good. Adahi's not being an idiot. Because a lot of times when you play this game, your nuggets are occasionally really stupid. Like, in one of my games, I had several wells, upgraded versions of the water pit, scattered around the town. They would still go and drink from the lake, which, for the most part, means there's a good chance they're going to get sick. Your nuggets will get sick, they will die eventually. This is a very cutesy game, but it's actually kind of dark when you get into it, and I was like, please don't, Bob, please don't tell me you're going to be that idiot. Actually, no, we are going to go ahead and build the fishing hut just so we've got it ready. Once that's ready, I will build the engineer's hut with the toolkits so that I can have somebody to repair, although I will not be able to have anybody repairing until we get the water wheels going, which I'm going to build like 2 or 3 along here. Seems like they might have actually updated the AI so that the nuggets are not quite so abysmally stupid.
Confused. Don't worry, I expected as much. I know you have questions, but you'll learn everything in time.
Okay, let's get an engine.
Without bothering me.
Getting engineers going. We're gonna need more kids eventually, folks, so... I mean, they'll procreate on their own. I don't have to keep saying, okay, I want you guys to go and do it now. But the water wheel will finish relatively quickly. I'm also going to need reservoirs. Do I have what? Yeah, okay, I've got water storage up next. My people don't even know how to cook, but we're already going to be building, like, watchtowers to watch out for wolves. There's plenty of work to do, Bob. You can help build the fishing hut, or fishing pier. You can help build the engineers. By the way, yes, I will be talking to my nuggets as if they were real people. All right, so basic axles. So that means water wheel is almost done. Get the building menu open and ready. I think I'll start with 2. because that will provide a lot more water. The reason that's going to be important is when winter rolls around, because things will freeze.